we have some news regarding Vanderbilt Commodores players' parents, Mario. Apparently, there was racial slurs used towards them at the College World Series. And Vanderbilt athletic director Candice Story Lee, she actually spoke out about this. She said, and I quote, "I am deeply troubled that some of our student athlete parents were subjected to racist slurs during last night's game. This is absolutely unacceptable and disgraceful behavior, and such hateful language has no place anywhere in our society." The Commodores won 8-2 on Monday. They're facing the Mississippi State Bulldogs in the College World Series, um, to the best of three finals. And it doesn't say who was saying the racial slurs, so we don't have that part on there for you. And the communications director for the agency that operates TD Ameritrade Park, her name is Christina Engdahl, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, TD Ameritrade Park is not only the home of the College World Series, but it's also the home of the Creighton Blue Jays baseball team. She also released a statement on this as well. She said, and I quote, "We absolutely denounce this behavior and are saddened to learn that it took place in TD Ameritrade Park, Omaha. Tonight, we will take additional security measures to ensure that everyone may feel safe in our stadium." She also went on to say, and I quote, we do stand behind the guests who were subjected to this unacceptable and appalling language, and we're sincerely sorry for their experience in our stadium." Um, I'll let you start off with this first, Mario, but before I do, this article was written by ESPN's Associated Press. Your thoughts on the racial slurs used towards the Vanderbilt parents?
Yeah, well, first of all, to the parents who experienced these racial slurs, I'm sorry that you guys had to go through that. That's absolutely unnecessary and it shouldn't be allowed. One thing that I feel like you forgot to mention, Nate, was the person or the people who use the offensive language. They left the stadium once security personnel were notified, but she doesn't know whether the person or people left on their own or were ejected.
Oh,
But
okay.
overall, Nate, I talked about this. I said sports is the place where it can bring everyone together, because in those types of instances, everybody comes together to go watch a game, at the people you see a bunch of fans, especially when it's like a home crowd, you see them high-fiving each other. And again, you guys are enjoying the game together. It doesn't matter what type of what color skin you have, what religion you have, none of that matters, At the end of the day, everybody comes together and they focus on sports. But sometimes, man, sports, I hate to say this, but sometimes sports instigates stuff like this going on, Because I don't know whether the fans were Vanderbilt fans or they were Mississippi State fans, but but again, these people, they end up, whether the case was they got into an art, whether the case was they were Mississippi State fans. I'm not sure what kind of fans they were, and they were mad that their team was losing in game one, so they took it out on the parents. But no matter what the case is, it doesn't matter. Okay, racial slurs should not be allowed, Nate. Okay, and sometimes sports, I don't know. Sometimes people go to that, they go automatically to the racial part of sports because they're pissed over something. They're pissed over something that happened in sports. When in reality, if you're gonna get again, if you're gonna boo a player, fine. If you're gonna tell the player he sucks, fine. But again, for you to bring race into this, that's absolutely unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. It's so disrespectful. And again, I'm sorry that these parents had to go through this because nobody should be able to go through this. We talked about this in a video where John Morant's family was getting basically harassed, whether it was them calling his wife a bitch or whether it was them being racist towards his parents, or towards him himself, So overall, stuff like this should not be happening. Sports should be a place where everybody comes together and they watch a game, everybody's able to come together, and it doesn't matter who you are, you guys are able to come together and watch a game and enjoy it. That's the way it should be. And players wise too, sports is a place where you build relationships, because you are a teammate of this person. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what religion they are. You built that relationship with a teammate because you built a strong relationship with them because you like them as a teammate, because they are your teammate. It shouldn't matter. Again, stuff like this should not be coming out in sports. Sports is a place to get away from all that type of stuff, not to engage in it. Stuff like this should not be going on in general, Nate, and in life, it shouldn't be going on in general, but unfortunately it does. And again, you can definitely limit it. You could definitely reduce it, but there are always going to be people like this out there, which is very unfortunate, but sports should be a way to get away from that. Sports should be a way to bring people together, not to endure hate on more people. It's as simple as that. So to the parents who again had racial offensive slurs directed towards them, I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. Again, the College World Series, I have been keeping track of it, Nate. I've watched the first two games. The first game, Vanderbilt absolutely beat the hell out of Mississippi State, and then Mississippi State repaid the favor for them in game two. So game three is going to be today, Nate, and I'm going to watch that. And I think we will report the winner of that too. I'm definitely watching that game though. There's no doubt about it. And I can't wait to see who wins. So overall, best of luck to both teams, to the parents who received this language directed towards them. I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. It's absolutely unnecessary and absolutely should have never happened. And I'm glad that Vanderbilt is speaking out about it, and I'm glad that they're letting everybody know like this is unnecessary and it should not and it's not allowed. So with that being said, best of luck to both teams, Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, and we'll see what happens in game three today.
Yeah, absolutely. To the parents that had these racial slurs said to them, I do apologize. Um, I wish you guys the best of luck. Yeah, Mario, it just is absolutely unnecessary. And going back to what you said about how sports bring us together, but it can also instigate a lot of things. The reason why I think this, and I've said this before a lot, is because sports is literally the perfect place to promote things. I'm being real with you, it is. You know what I mean? Sports is the centerpiece of most entertainment, if not all of it, if you want to make that argument. Sports is everywhere, no matter where you go. That's just the truth, and it's just the perfect place to promote it because basically most of the things that's on TV revolves around sports. So it's so easy to promote some things like that, which is why I think some things like that get instigated. And now, am I saying that that's right? Absolutely not. Shame on the people that did stuff like that. But again, because it's so easy to promote things like that in sports, I feel like that's why it happens. But that's me personally. You can have a different reason for it, but that's just why I think that. But
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
absolutely right. And the thing is, with sports, you're absolutely right. Here's what I would say: sports is the centerpiece for both things I just mentioned, and it's so weird because sports is the centerpiece to again reach out the message of everybody can come together, and enjoy a simple game. It doesn't matter who you are. It's a centerpiece of that right there, showing you how a community can come together no matter what you are. But it's also the centerpiece of people coming out with these types of slurs because they're all upset because whether their team is losing, so they take it out on the guy and they say stuff like this. Overall, Nate, that's basically what it is. Sports is the centerpiece of both those things, and it's absolutely weird, but it really is unfortunate that this type of stuff is in sports and it's associated with it.
yeah, absolutely. And it's just so unfortunate, because I'm not saying in any way what they did was right. Obviously, absolutely not. It is absolutely wrong in every sense of the fashion. But again, like I mentioned, because it's so easy to promote things in sports, that's why it happens, and it shouldn't happen, but unfortunately, it does. Um, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Going back to the College World Series, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it because by the time it starts, I'll already be at work. So, that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, you do what you got to do. But look, I kind of want Vanderbilt to win only because I want Jack Peter to have that trophy high over his head before he gets drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. So yeah, enjoy it now because once the Pirates come for you, man, yeah, it's not gonna look good for you. But anyway, going back to the event itself, game three is on tonight. So I think this is the last game, Mario. So with that being said, best of luck to both teams tonight. And again, to the parents, I do apologize if this had to happen to you, and I do wish you guys the best of luck as well.